Hi, I'm Keith Swaney, archivist at the New York State Archives in Albany, New York. Primary sources, such as historical documents, help students to connect to history and sharpen their critical thinking skills. Today, I'm here to explain how to find historical documents in your local community that can be used to enhance your lessons and engage your students. Some of these materials are available online, but many more are available by visiting places like libraries, historical societies, and local governments, like a county clerk's office. I'm here today in Saratoga County with Kathy Marchione, County Clerk. Kathy, thank you very much for letting us visit you today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you here.
First of all, can you tell us about the role of the County Clerk?
Yes, the role of the County Clerk is quite varied. It's a constitutional office. We are elected officials every 4 years. We are the clerks of the Supreme and County Courts, and we file all the land and deed records in the county. And I even act as an agent for the New York State Commissioner of Motor Vehicles.
Kathy, what types of documents do you maintain and in what formats?
We maintain a variety of documents. In fact, we have 244 different record series in the County Clerk's office. As I said, deeds and mortgages and all the civil actions dating back to the 1700s.
It seems like the County Clerk's office has a lot of important documents that are important to everyday life. What about some of the older records you have?
We have amazing documents. We have the minutes of the Board of Supervisors meeting back in 1791 when the county was formed. We have deeds going back to the 1700s and civil documents going back that far. We have the Caterosaurus patent, which is the land patent that created most of what is now Saratoga County. I can just go on and the wonderful records we have here.
At the State Archives where I work, when somebody wants to begin researching, we usually direct them to our website that has the online catalog, finding aids, indexes, and digital collections. Does the County Clerk's office have something similar to help researchers begin looking for documents?
We do. We have currently 11 million pages of documents online that people need to secure a username and password to use. We also have a records index online that not only contains all of our permanent records in the County Clerk's office, but 44 municipalities, whether they be historians, historical societies, town clerk's offices, all of their permanent records are cataloged, and it's a keyword search program found on the County Clerk's website.
Should a researcher make an appointment with you before coming to the County Clerk's office, and should they know about any restrictions on the use of County Clerk's records?
Researchers do not need to make an appointment. Just come in during our regular office hours, or of course they can go online and do their researching. There are a couple of rules. We don't allow food or beverages in the records room. Beyond that, if they're going to be researching some of our oldest records, which are downstairs in Saratoga County, a staff member would be going with them. They're not allowed in the vault. We actually seek the document or the book they believe they need. They research that and they stay with a staff member. We make the copies for them and then return the documents back to the vault downstairs.
That's great. Would you mind sharing a few examples with us today?
I'd love to show you.
Wow, Kathy, it looks like you've pulled a number of different types of records here for us. Can we take a look at this handwritten document first?
Absolutely. This is a deed book from our collection. In fact, it's the first original deed filed in Saratoga County in 1791. And one of the interesting aspects of it is the county clerk actually has to transcribe the deeds as filed and write them in the book, as there was no copy machines or any type of equipment to be able to do that easier. So we find these very beautiful and very interesting.
And this is very important for property owners in that they can take these deeds and trace back the history of their property over time, right?
Yes, you can not only trace back the history of your property, but these are invaluable to making sure you have clear title to your property. And each and every time a property is sold, researchers are here making sure just that. There really isn't going to be a lot of buying and selling in Saratoga County without being able to research the history of the property.
That's right. Fascinated by the second example here. Looks like a map of the town of Ballston. Can you explain this one to us?
Yeah, in fact, there's a map of each town within Saratoga County. In fact, all of New York State was part of the Beers Atlas. It's from 1866, still used today. And another wonderful teaching tool, because it not only has the map itself that's displayed, but it has names of people who live along the streets. If it's a business name, it shows you that. If it's a cemetery, it shows you the locations of cemeteries. It's an invaluable valuable tool that people are still using today.
Looks like it depicts also geographical features and the fact that it depicts so many different types of property holders. Teachers could use this to study. They could find related records of these people. They could use it to look at change over time of a different community.
Yes,
it's a wonderful visual resource.
It would be wonderful to use, yes.
Excellent. Kathy, this third document here actually starts at the top with United States of America Petition for Naturalization.
Yes, these are the petitions when someone wanted to naturalize and become a citizen of the United States, and it was quite the process. First, they would file this declaration of intention, and it provides great information where they came from, what occupation they had. They denounced their existing citizenship to wherever they came from, and after a period of time, then they were able to come back and actually petition for naturalization and become a citizen of the United States. A wonderful process, one of course that is still going on today.
It's interesting, and looking through, I noticed this person actually came in at Ellis Island in 1909, and also the different types of data provided here. A lot on the person's occupation, where they came from, just a great trove of information for people that want to study the social economic background of these individuals. And I'm sure genealogists also love to look at these, people interested in family history.
Absolutely. I mean, how thrilled would you be to be able to have this information on a great-great-grandfather,
Right.
to know what he did and when he came and where he came from. Just such an exciting document and can be used for so many wonderful purposes. We're excited to be able to tell you that both the naturalization records and our census records in Saratoga will soon be on the internet for people to be able to peruse.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Speaking of census records, it looks like you've pulled one for us here, dating from 1865.
I did. Census records are a tremendous teaching tool. They provide information on each member of the family, the ages. Sometimes during slavery, they even gave names of the slaves in the family. This particular census book is from 1865, and during the Civil War, they would have a list by town of soldiers who were enlisted, and then unfortunately the deaths of those soldiers who didn't come back. And this book we found interesting because the county clerk at that time was James Horton, and unfortunately we found his son's name, William Horton, as deceased as part of the Civil War. So these are just amazing records, and people all the time are looking at these records and would make a great teaching tool because there's so much that you can get out of one of these, and different questions and
Right.
different information that a student would be able to find.
I think it's wonderful too because we're oftentimes looking for the stories of those individual soldiers that participated in the war.
That's right.
And teachers could use this document along with other government records that we even hold at the New York State Archives that provide a lot of information on what happened to these soldiers, what were their occupations and backgrounds before the war. Just a wonderful resource that teachers could make use of.
Absolutely are.
Now, Kathy, we've talked a lot about the examples you've shown us here. How about some other departments within the county that might have records that would be interesting to teachers?
Yeah, I would look at the Board of Elections, and I would also, of course, go to the Saratoga County Historian's Office. Both provide great information depending on what type of history you're looking for. You're looking for balloting and voting and information, both historic and current. You could go to the Board of Elections, and the historian has family histories and histories on field books and just such a variety of photographs. Tremendous place for teachers to peruse as well.
Kathy, I want to thank you so much for letting us visit you today and for sharing these wonderful resources that will be very useful for classroom teachers.
Oh, you are so welcome. It's our pleasure to have you here. Anytime we can talk about our records and share information with the public and with children, we're just so excited about doing that. So thank you for having us. Thank you for being here.